Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do.
So, Henry, it's hard to know where to start. The mass amount of financial destruction you've caused with your Ponzi scheme has shocked the public, the nation, and the world ever since you confessed to this outrageous crime. As an investment advisor in your well-respected business, Henry Securities LLC, your investors are crippled by your greed and your ethical misbehavior. So let's begin by answering the question everyone wants answered. How'd you do it, Henry?
Obviously, one must be ingenious to pull off such a feat. Extraordinary, if you will. It began in the early 1990s. So your money's going to be in good hands. The investment strategy that I've engineered, I like to call it the split strike conversion strategy. Pretty much, it's practically guaranteed money in your pocket. A conservative estimate by me would be you'd get a return of at least 1% a month.
Whoa, 1% a month? Now we're talking. That's hard to turn down, Henry.
I like to think of it as the thrill of counting cards at the Bellagio, but easier. So, how much were you willing to invest? The more you invest, the richer you will become.
I think I could go 100 million. It's probably the most I could spare right now.
You know, 100 million would actually work pretty well. That's a nice round number. So, just wire me the money as soon as you can, okay?
Will do.
Thanks, bye. Come on. Do you accept the money transfer? Yes. Let's move it over here. Are you sure you want to deposit 100 million in Henry's Chase Manhattan bank account? Of course, I worked really hard for this. What's this? Are you sure this is an ethical decision? What kind of computer is this? So, as I gain new investors, I just continue to pay off the current investors with the money the new investors are paying me. Did I lie, cheat, steal? All of the above. Yes, the investors were happy. They were receiving their monthly returns, and most importantly, I was benefiting. Just like Thomas Hobbes, I am a proponent of self-interest.
That's not how he meant it, Henry.
Everything wasn't always perfect, though. You know, the larger the scheme grew, the more I began to realize how easily this whole thing could spiral out of control. And after a while, I became scared. The unknown and the uncertainty of how things would unravel just started to really weigh down on me. Anybody have a tissue? Oh, wait. It's a bug. So 2008 came around, the subprime lending crisis was in full swing, and new investors are hard to come by. Nobody had any free capital. And it was then, near the end, when I began to realize and regret my actions. And my fundamental flaw, things had to go bad first before I realized the risk I put everyone at.
Henry, you misguided many people with your puppet master personality. How is it that no one knew or suspected what you were doing?
Everybody just thought I was good at my job. I had earned a great reputation among the financial community, and so people never really thought that I would be able to, or that I guess would, do something like this.
How would you define success, in your opinion?
Well, I guess I would define success as working hard at something and not stopping until you finish it.
But you didn't finish what you started, did you?
Well, obviously not. I mean, when I began this thing, I didn't have a set endpoint. How could you do something like that?
Right. So, you committed this scheme for almost 18 years. How did you go through so many years without telling absolutely anyone?
Well, it was a slippery slope, of course. I knew what I was doing was illegal. But I just got caught up in trying to fulfill my customers' expectations.
Did you ever think about confessing to anyone about the fraud you were committing?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it weighed down on me, you know. There's some nights where I couldn't sleep. But to be honest, some days I didn't even think about it. It's not as if I was seeing my investors on a weekly or daily basis. You know, I wasn't even calling them. But after a while, somebody did start to catch on what I was doing. There was a guy named William. He was an employee at one of my rival investment